Next up, Manchester United at Villa Park as well, fresh from their 8-goal thriller against Bournemouth.
Stage set for Buendia. Oh, the glorious free kick. Banana to unleash. The uncertain early days of the season look well and truly behind them. Harry Maguire! Manchester United prize the lead back at Anfield again. This isn't just a win, this is a big scalp. Rodgers with the lead from behind. Vermo's in. Boubacar Kamara, what a hit. Brilliant strike from the net. Onana got to that one. The turnaround is complete. It's Dalot. Aston Villa formidable and dreaming of Champions League football again.
Ruben Amorim seems to be turning things around.
Is this to be the night where they make their move up the Premier League table?
So it could be a cracking game, this one. Unai Emery spoke about the need to continue to be consistent.
Always we are ready to work better and more to improve things. And we are speaking about our demands. Our demands is try to analyze each match deeply, and even winning, even playing and performing well collectively and individually, we can get better. And this is our demand. And of course, how we can be consistent is our priority, and our priority is to win on Sunday, knowing and respecting them and being humble.
And of course, facing Manchester United this weekend at Villa Park, Ruben Amorim shared his thoughts on Bruno Fernandes's interview and Kobbie Mainoo's brother's message, which he displayed on a T-shirt.
That he spoke with the club before that interview, and he said what he's feeling. Of course, we can avoid these things because we already know the noise. But he talked with the board, and I think everything is clear. I think he is an example that he gives everything. He puts everything on the line in every training, in every match. In that department is special. So I think he has that feeling. We need to step up and to have also that feeling. No, it was not Kobbie that wear the T-shirt. He's not going to start because of the T-shirt, but he's not going to the bench because of the T-shirt. He's going to play if we feel that he's the right guy.
So, guys, what's your reaction there to Ruben Amorim talking? I mean, firstly, on Bruno Fernandes, what's your whole take of this story? Bruno Fernandes obviously spoke to Canal 11, did an interview. Coincidentally, it's international break. That's where all the things happen, isn't it? You know?
It's a PR war. I work in the media. We're all in the media. And Fernandes is saying one thing, United is saying another. It had been around in the summer that there were Saudi clubs willing to buy him. He is saying, yes, they wanted me. And he knows that he has been the most productive player at the club in the last 3 to 4 seasons.
Well, exactly. Where would they be down without him over the last 2 seasons?
Absolutely. Well, they'd be in the bottom reaches, possibly.
In the relegation battle.
In the relegation battle last season. So he understands how to play up his value and to maybe get people appreciating. Maybe he's after a long-term contract. That's just my opinion. I don't know that to be the case. But it's interesting because United are contradicting everything he's saying and saying, we want to keep him, we're not going to let him go. But then this is United who were saying in the summer, we don't want to let Kobbie Mainoo go, we want to keep him. Now they say it would take an exceptional offer to let him go. So who do you believe? Well,
and also out of this interview, it emerged reportedly that Bruno's wife had basically questioned him one day and said, look, if you did leave Old Trafford, would you be happy with your lot there and what you'd achieved? And he sort of reflected on it and thought, an FA Cup and a League Cup, no. So what is within his grasp as United captain, especially when you look at how long he's been there, how many games he's played? He's hardly missed a game, Glenn.
Yeah, I mean, he has been the driving force. Whether he's the person to continue to take Manchester United on, I don't think you can disregard his quality and what he has done in the Manchester United shirt in what has effectively been a bad era for the football club. But when I get a look at him, I don't know if he leads by example. You're surrounded by a lot of young men. There's a lot of arm waving, which...
From him?
Yes, which can be confidence destroying for people that are stepping into Manchester United. It's hard enough, I think, pulling that shirt on. I think he's revelled in being the kind of the one that everyone looks towards. But whether that is going to be the future, I'm very
So
unsure.
good. I'm interested, just because two slightly different answers. I mean, in terms of his quality, for example, do you think that Bruno Fernandes gets, or Darren, do you think Bruno Fernandes gets in every Premier League side?
No.
Based on what you've seen this season?
No, I don't. I think he's a terrific player. The numbers bear that out. But I'm with Glenn. I think there are elements of his game. There is too much arm waving. There is too much losing his cool when the chips are down. A colleague of mine pointed out that a lot of his yellow cards tend to come within the shadow of half time. If United are behind and he's waving his arms and he's complaining
I agree with the arm waving, but this season, do you think that's still happening? I think he's emerging more of a leader.
You're closing the parameters up. The bottom line is his quality good enough to get into every
most
side?
Assists and most shots created this season. That's
most
a stat.
Most sides. But if you look at sides like Arsenal, if you look at sides like Manchester City, I would even argue Liverpool. I don't think Liverpool would slop.
You wouldn't get him. You wouldn't put him in this season instead of Florian Wirtz.
Wirtz is an outstanding footballer who was part of a side that
this season what we've seen in a Liverpool shirt.
Yeah, but Liverpool don't listen. Liverpool look at the longer term. They don't look at the short term. They don't look at what you've done over 3 or 4 months. They look at what you've done over 2 or 3 years. And that's what Florian Wirtz has done. So I think it's a very reductive argument to say, would he get in?
But my point is saying that he's always amongst the top goal scorers for his club, and actually assists. He's right at the top of the charts from all 20 Premier League clubs, and
that's why he's a fantastic player. But I think it doesn't help anyone to go to extremes, and I think that's what you're doing. Every Premier League club, it doesn't help him, doesn't help the clubs either.
So. Manchester United's future.
It doesn't.
No, but he's 31. So what you're saying, Manchester United's future is away from Bruno Fernandes. And again, we started this conversation, didn't we, because of the Saudi talk from last summer, and he's basically saying he's hurt by the fact that Manchester United considered even selling him.
Well, I can understand it from a player's point of view. You want to be loved by the football club you represent, and ultimately, the football club that he's given his best years to, who haven't been in a position that Manchester United used to being in. So he feels as though he's almost sacrificed a lot of his good years at Manchester United, trying to get them back to the stature that they once were. But I can also see it from a football club's point of view, where he's in his 30s. You're not going to get that much money from him in the future, I don't think, from a European club. Saudi is where the money is. So, and he's not going to effectively be the future Manchester United. So I can understand from a financial point of view of Manchester United, you cash in while you can. You live it 2 more years, that money probably isn't going to be there.
Here's a question for former player Glenn Murray. Let's just say you're at Crystal Palace and your brother has made up this invisible brother. He wears a T-shirt which says "Free Glenn Murray" when you're not playing in the Palace team. Would you be angry with your brother at doing that if it wasn't sort of premeditated? What would you read into this whole Kobbie Mainoo?
I'll ask you again, in the wake of his half-brother wearing a free Kobbie Mainoo T-shirt. Did you see that? Have you spoken to Kobbie about it?
No, it was not Kobbie that wear the T-shirt. He's not going to start because of the T-shirt, but he's not going to the bench because of the T-shirt. He's going to play if we feel that he's the right guy to play. So that is not an issue. I'm used to. I'm here for a year. It's not new. So we have to deal with that. But I'm not going to do something to Kobbie because someone on his family is doing something.
I don't know if you saw Chido Obi and Harry Amas post on social media. I mean, what do you make of that? It seems quite petty.
I think it's the feeling, a little bit the feeling of entitlement that we have in our club. And sometimes strong words is not bad words. Sometimes difficult moments is not the bad things for the kids. We don't need to be always with accolades in everything, in every situation. We are not helping. That's why you guys talk about a lot of players nowadays that they speak and they go against the clubs and everything happened because they feel entitlement. And then you have legends of the club saying that if you don't play, leave because everyone is wrong. No, let's think about, let's stay, let's fight, let's overcome. Maybe the manager is wrong. So I have that feeling all the time that we need to fight against this feeling.
I feel like I have to commend him on kind of the handling of that situation, like specifically in that press conference, because I feel like there is a lot of managers out there, maybe of years gone past, that if they had seen something like this, because I want to show the picture of the T-shirt, if they had seen something like that, it's just one of those where you go, well, why has that happened at a club like Manchester United? How are we at this situation? I mean, Merce, how have you found, obviously, the handling of the Kobbie Mainoo situation?
He's not playing. Something's going on. I don't know how he trains. I don't know how he trains, but he's been kept out of the team by Casemiro. So, no disrespect to Casemiro, who's been phenomenal at Real Madrid, but hasn't pulled up too many trees. He's been steady, and he's being kept out of the team by him. You know, so something's going. You know, we don't see everything in training. You know, I'm a great believer. If you're good enough, you'll play. It's as simple as that. You know, and the manager works with these players day in, day out. They watch them. They watch them walk down to the training ground. They see what time they get in the training. They see who's going out on the training pitch going, you know, I'm going to show you, I'm going to play. We never see all that. We just see T-shirts, people wearing T-shirts, you know, free, you know. But he's at Man United. He's at Man United. He's in the squad. He's at one of the biggest clubs in the world. They're not the biggest team in the world. They're still one of the biggest clubs in the world. His brother's sitting there with a T-shirt on like he's doing 20 years in prison. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. If I was Kobe, I would have rung up his brother and said, "What are you doing to me? What are you doing to me?" You know, and then people think they have the right. He's got to work himself back into the team, work himself, not want to go out on loan. Why would you want to leave Man United?
To play more.
To play more, but you're not.
He's not going to play more there.
But he's got to make sure he plays more. He's got to make sure he's making it too easy. Where's he going to go? He's going to go and play in front of 20, 30,000. Plays in front of 75,000 every week. He's got to make the right to get in the team. Get in the team, like he come on a sub and done well, and I like him as a player. But he's got to get in the team. Something's going on for them to be on a run like they've been on over the season and him not get a game. There's got to be a reason. And if it's the manager and the manager don't like him, then the manager's he's wrong. Because you can't treat people like that. You know, you've got to be honest and say, right, I'll get rid of you. But he's only behind one player, Casemiro. He's not behind 10 players. He's behind one player.
He's not playing in the reserves. He's on the bench. He has his chance.
He has his chance, and he's playing against him. That's all he's playing against. You know, I know where I'd be staying. I'd be going, I fancy myself to get in front of him. But the manager's got to ask him, the manager's got to give himself an honest question. Am I being true to him? Or don't I fancy him as a player?
What did you make of it? I think there's T-shirt,
I think there's a way for Amorim to play more, for sure. Even if he thinks that Casemiro is a more defensive man in midfielder, which is true. It could be Mainu. Even in terms of defensive awareness and things like that, I don't think Kobe can do the work that Casemiro is doing. But I think there's also moments where you could play Casemiro and Bruno and Kobe Mainu together. I don't understand that rigidity in Amorim's system and tactics of like, no, it's Casemiro and Bruno and there's no space for anyone else. No Ugarte sometimes maybe, no Kobe Mainu, no one else. It's that or nothing. And when Casemiro comes off after an hour in every game, they crumble. And that's why the second half's performances have been so bad this season compared to the first half performances. So I think for me, caused Kobe Mainu a lot because Amorim's rigidity within that system and within the double pivot of Bruno and Casemiro means that for him nobody else can come into the discussion, which is wrong, I think. But I'm not sure he's going to play more. So if he wants to play more, if he wants to go to the World Cup with England, he has a chance. If he can't get more minutes at United, whether this is right or wrong, he needs to go somewhere else where he will get minutes and Tuchel can see him and then hopefully getting that 26-man squad to the World Cup.
Do you think there's a way back for him at Manchester United, given now this situation?
Only if tactically there's a bit of an evolution and variation from Amorim, which we've seen a little bit against Bournemouth, a little bit against Wolves, but maybe not enough to almost say to Kobe, you're going to play more, because right now I don't see it changing.
There was something else that Amorim was asked about, and it was he spoke about before in a previous press conference about Chido Obi Martin saying that he wasn't quite getting into the reserve squad. He was talking about Harry Amass at Sheffield Wednesday, and he was saying after the players kind of posted stuff on social media, taking a stab at it, he said there's almost an entitlement issue at the club. What did you make of that, Mass?
Yeah, I'm with him there. I'm a great believer. If you're good enough, you will play. You will play. It's as simple as that. If you're good enough, if you're not good enough and you're not better than the players that are playing, you won't play. We've seen people, you've seen Max Downing at 15 play for Arsenal because he's that good. And we'll see players, and we'll keep on seeing players of Jack Wilshere's and people like that, and the young kid at Liverpool, Rio. Rio. Good player. On the bench all the time, come in and done well.
Get your head down, work.
Get your head down, work hard. He's right what he says. Because you're at an academy and you're doing well and you're ripping up in the under-21s, that's never been a league. It's never been a league. All these kids are playing against you. But this needs to change again, in my opinion. Years ago, you used to have the reserves combination.
Yeah.
You know, you're playing against people, you're playing against other professional footballers. You go and watch under-21s games now. These under-21s have been playing against each other since they were 8 years old.
That's the only country, by the way, in Europe like this.
Yeah.
Everybody else,
Honestly, and they just pass it and they pass it. And it's not the same. And you've only got to look when they play in this Football League trophy. They play against teams and get smashed 4s and 5s and 3s. You know, you've got to work hard. You don't have... Because you score 3 goals in the under-21s, there's the shelf, the Premier League trying to get into the Man United team, even though they're middle of the table, it's still so hard. You've got to work hard. Surely that's not them kids posting that. Surely that's someone, their agents or someone, surely. And they're not doing them any favours. No favours.
I didn't know it's the only league that do it that way.
Everywhere else, in France, in Germany, in Spain, your reserve team, so usually the kids,
back in the reserves,
will play against first team of other clubs that are just in that second or third division.
Yeah. I think for United now, they've had those opportunities as well. There's part of me where I watch Man United and I think, they do look better and they're close. And they always come that game of like, if we win here today, we could push into that top 5. Do you think a European spot do they have the capability of getting it?
You know what? I liked watching Man United the other night. For the first time, the first 20 minutes, I thought they were outstanding. I thought they were all over Bournemouth. Bournemouth, you know, all the same, Mason Mount gives the ball to Shaw. Shaw's a bit relaxed, and they score. The defender's only the young kid, Heaven. He's got to come across. This goal's phenomenal. Yeah, very good. You know, we won't talk about it now, but Salah got absolutely slaughtered for saying he threw the club under the bus. He threw the club under the bus this week. What he said, bang out of order. But they were good but they're like Chelsea. They have a good 20 minutes and then have a bad 25 and then have another good 10. But I love watching them. There's something changing there. There's something changing.
Yeah.
I hope the manager gets it right. I do like the manager. Just got to be a little bit more flexible, a little bit every now and then.
And more control, because I don't know if we will see the Bournemouth 4th goal. When you're
creepy.
Yeah, when you're 4-3 up, Old Trafford, when you need a win badly, you've led already 3 times in this game, and then you gave away that goal like they did so cheaply at that time, because there's just no control in the game. You're still trying to attack.
But I think the fans even felt like it was an inevitability that they were going to concede that goal.
Yeah, but that's when you leave Casemiro and then bring Mainu on and play him and Fernandes in front of him, and they'll just control it or play, or even bring Mason Mount into the middle and they can keep the ball. You know, you need good footballers at certain times in the game just to keep the ball. And then when they chase the game and you're still solid at the back, you can pick teams off.
Manchester United face a tough test against Aston Villa, a team known for high intensity, quick transitions, and strong midfield runners. For United to win this game, tactical discipline and smart use of space will be crucial. One key talking point is the recent formation changes under Ruben Amorim. Traditionally linked with a back 3 system, Amorim has shown flexibility, switching between a back 3 and a back 4, depending on the opponent. Against Villa, this adaptability could be vital. A back 4 with a compact midfield can help United close the gaps Villa love to exploit, especially during counterattacks. Midfield control will decide the game. United must stay compact, win second balls, and deny Villa time to turn and run. A balanced midfield setup allows creative players to focus on chance creation rather than constant defensive recovery. However, formation alone will not win the match. Manchester United must be more clinical in front of goal and avoid simple defensive mistakes. Villa are ruthless when given chances. In conclusion, Amorim's tactical changes can help United, but only if the players execute the plan with discipline, intensity, and confidence.